Good morning, Wayne Hills, and welcome to a very special edition of Wayne Hills TV News. I'm Christina Vitas.
And I'm Andrew Essie. We know you all love us so much, but it's only a matter of time until June comes around and we hand over the Good Morning Wayne Hills set to some underclassmen. But don't worry, Christine and I will be back next month for another episode.
So today we would like to introduce Veronica Gale and Marosha Demick as they bring you a very special feature on the spring musical, Legally Blonde, on their very own stage. So guys, take it away.
Good morning, Wayne Hills. This is Marosha Demick, joined by Veronica Gale and the cast of the upcoming spring musical Legally Blonde, Matt Ferrara, Caitlin Kerwin, and Sam Applebaum. Morning,
How you doing? What's going on?
Well, our first question is for Sam. So Sam, can you summarize the show of Legally Blonde for us?
Yeah, so Legally Blonde is based on a really popular movie that a lot of people have seen. It's basically about a student at UCLA, Elle Woods, who is played by Caitlin. And, she has the love of her life, her boyfriend Warner. And after he breaks up with her, she follows him to graduate school at Harvard Law on this journey to, win him back and, get married. And what starts as a journey to win back Warner actually turns out to be a journey where she figures out that she doesn't need to depend on anyone but herself.
Sounds interesting. All right, Matt, so you play Callahan, a Harvard Law professor known for his tough personality. So how is someone like you, guy known to crack a joke every now and then, going to channel your inner bad guy to accurately portray someone like Callahan?
It's a little challenging sometimes to transition from comedy to drama or being like the bad guy. But it's actually a nice challenge because what I try to do, instead of making the character a bad guy, I try to make him a good guy to himself. I justify the bad things he's doing to himself. So how I'll play it is similar to like a movie that I'm basing the character off of, American Psycho, which is about a serial killer. It's a really weird movie. But what it is these guys don't know they're bad. They're just acting how they would without thought and emotion. They're just being the bad guy and justifying it to themselves. So I'm not playing this as the big bad guy. I'm playing it more of like a funny guy who thinks he's bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Caitlin, so most people know you're not actually blonde, you're actually brunette. What made you want to dye your hair for the show?
Well, to start off with, when I got the role, the directors told me, they said, you have a ton of really quick, fast changes. And they were just worried that a wig would be too much in the way and that it would be a really big problem. So I was like, sure, why not? I've always wanted to do something fun with my hair, so I was up to it.
They asked me to dye my hair blonde too, but it wasn't in my contract, so I turned it down respectfully.
All right, so Sam, being in the theater department for 4 years now, but only doing sound and lighting for the first 3, what made you decide to step up and audition for a role this year?
Well, I've done, I think, 2 shows a year. I've done sound and 1 show this year, so 2, 4, 6. I've done 7 shows on sound. And I decided for my senior year I wanted to change it up a little bit, try something new. I never really wanted to be on stage, but, it's definitely turned out to be something I'm really glad I did. It was fun. I made a ton of new friends, and, yeah, it's been really interesting, but I'm definitely glad that I did it.
Yeah, good stuff. And, all right, Matt, so what could students at Wayne Hills gain from purchasing a ticket to Legally Blonde? What do you think this show has to offer?
Honestly, what they'll gain is exactly what I gained. Coming off of a show like Grease last year, and then they announced it was going to be Legally Blonde. I'll admit at first I was a little let down, like Legally Blonde. I knew the movie, I knew nothing about the musical. So the first day of rehearsal, I'm like, all right, I'm excited, let's see what this is. And then I started hearing the music and started seeing the show, and I realized, whoa, very funny, the music is excellent and hilarious. I'm not going to go this far, but it may be as funny as Grease. There's a lot of funny lines in the show, and I think people are really going to get good laughs and get what they pay for.
All right, guys. So what's everyone's favorite song in the show?
I guess I'll start. My favorite song is Legally Blonde, just like the title of the show. And that's my favorite song because that's the first time that Elle Woods is completely vulnerable and just really opens up, and she lets everything that happens to her, it's such a moving piece for not only for myself acting, but for everyone watching, because it's the first time that she's really opening up and letting her emotions take the better of her. And although that sounds like it would be detrimental to her character, it really is what brings her back to be better than ever for the rest of Act 2.
Yeah, my favorite song from the show is called Whipped Into Shape. It's cool. It's really edgy and it's different, and the dance number is amazing. You know, there's lots of cool like jump roping and props, and you guys will see when you come see the show.
Mine would have to be, I think, Bend and Snap. It also makes me a little uncomfortable to watch, but it's also definitely the funniest song in the show. And I watched the movie maybe like 10 years ago with my sister when it first came out, and I remember that scene just being like a brief fleeting moment. It was supposed to be funny, and the fact that they were able to make this like incredible musical number out of it, it's such a fun scene to watch.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks, Matt, Caitlin, and Sam for joining us on Wayne Hills TV. Come see Legally Blonde, March 17th at 7 p.m., March 18th at 7 p.m., and March 19th at 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. Tickets will be sold for $14 at the door and at all lunch periods. I'm Veronica Gale, and this is Marosha Demick saying, have a great day, Wayne Hills, and thank you for watching the morning announcements.